Hey y'all, welcome to Camira's Kitchen. Today I'm showing you how to make a cinnamon roll cheesecake. That's right, if Cinnabon and a cheesecake had a baby, this is what you're going to get. Now, if you got the sugars, honey, don't make this, okay? Because there's a lot of sweetness going on up in here. But if you want a nice treat, y'all, check out this recipe. Now, I have some cinnamon graham crackers. I am going to take them and pulverize them, and then I'm going to measure them to make sure I have 1.5 cups of crumbs. You could also use any other cookie that you like, even a ginger snap, something like that would be great. I am then going to add some sugar, about 4 tablespoons, and about 5 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to pulverize this until it is the texture of like a wet sand. Then I am going to prep a 9-inch spring foam pan. I always like to put foil at the bottom of mine, whether I do a water bath or not, because I always feel like these pans just leak a little bit, okay? So I'm going to use some foil and I'm going to wrap it around the edges, just to make sure no butter escapes from the sides. I'm then going to press in my crumb mixture, and I'm going to use a measuring cup, but you could also use any cup to make sure that the crust is nice and compacted. I have had my oven preheating to 325 degrees. I'm going to bake the crust for about 9 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to let it cool off while I put together the rest of the cheesecake. If you've been enjoying this video, please go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up and let me know in the comments any other recipe requests that you have for my channel. These are the ingredients for the base of the cheesecake. We have some sugar, heavy cream, and sour cream. We're going to use some flour, as well as 3 8-ounce packs of cream cheese. I have 4 eggs here, as well as some vanilla extract, cinnamon, and some sugar. I like to put my cheesecakes together in a food processor because it ensures that there ain't no lumps, okay? And baby, if you got lumps in your cheesecake now, that's a no, all right? Now, I'll be honest with y'all, I'm a little bit of, a fake it baker when it comes to cheesecakes. I don't really care about cracks or whether or not it's burnt on the top, none like that, okay? So if you want that bakery style, Cheesecake Factory cheesecake, this may not be the channel for you. Okay, but I can give you a real good home style cheesecake that everyone gonna like. And I pretty much cover up all my imperfections with a glaze, okay? So I'm gonna add everything to my food processor, and then I am going to blend it until it is very smooth, okay? You should see that your texture of your batter will be a little bit loose, especially from adding the eggs. You do want to go in there and scrape down the sides to make sure that everything is blended very well, okay? Now tell me, how many slices of cheesecake can you typically eat? I pretty much can only have like 1 or even like a half slice because cheesecake is such a rich dessert to me. I'm going to put together the cinnamon filling. So I have a lot of cinnamon, a little bit of salt, brown sugar, and some flour. Now the flour is needed because that is going to help bind that sugar and cinnamon a bit. It's going to give it a little bit of body. So don't skip that. You do want to add in then some hot melted butter. It needs to be a little bit warm because you want that butter to start to melt that sugar a little bit. I'm going to mix this together, and then this is going to become your cinnamon brown sugar paste, basically. This is going to give it that cinnamon roll flavor that everybody's going to love. All right, family, now we are going to assemble this. Now, my technique for doing this is to put down a couple dollops of the cinnamon sugar mixture around, and then I'm going to pour about 1/3 of the cheesecake batter on top. You can use whatever technique you like to get this done. I also felt like you probably could have spread out the cinnamon sugar like in a layer and then kind of tried to swirl everything. Also, now I ain't tried this, okay, so try this at your own risk. But I also think you could mix the cinnamon sugar with about 1/4 of the cheesecake batter and then use it as a swirl so that it could become loose. If you try either one of those techniques, let me know how it comes out, okay? But I feel like you would also get a great cheesecake doing it that way. I am going to top this off with some batter, and then I'm also going to sprinkle on whatever I have left of the cinnamon sugar. Now, I know some people like to do the whole water bath thing. Look, the closest I am going to get to doing a water bath is to put a pan at the bottom that's a little bit deep, and then I'm going to fill it up with boiling water. I'm going to let the steam sort of insulate in the oven and just help with even cooking. That's the most I can do. I cannot risk a soggy crust. Then I'm going to put down a baking sheet and I'm going to put my cheesecake on top. That's just for me to be able to get it out easier, and also it will catch any butter or anything that might leak, because y'all, it's a lot of butter up in this recipe, okay? I'm going to cook this at 300 degrees for about an hour and 15 to an hour and 20 minutes. If the top gets too brown for your liking, you may cover it with foil. I will allow it to sit in the oven to cool down with the door cracked for 1 hour, and then I will place it in the fridge overnight to fully set. Mine is a little bit brown because I didn't cover mine with foil, but y'all, for me and my family, we do not care. We are going to eat it, okay? I'm going to use a knife to go around the rim. Now, there's a lot of butter, so you will kind of have to dislodge it a little bit with your knife, and then should be able to easily get out your cheesecake. No cinnamon roll would be complete without icing. So I am going to make a delicious cream cheese icing to go on top of our cheesecake. I am adding enough milk so that it is a very loose glaze texture. I'm also going to put in some vanilla. You can add enough milk in order to get the texture that you want. If you want to spread it or make some sort of design, of course you can make yours thicker. Just to make this easier to handle, I am going to add it to a Ziploc bag. You know, we don't do piping bags around here, baby, okay? We just use that Ziploc. To make it easier to pour the icing in, I like to put the Ziploc bag inside of a cup, and then I will pour in all of my icing. When it's ready, it should look just like this, and then we're going to start to glaze our cheesecake. Now, I caught myself acting like I was going to do a design. Child, I don't know what I was thinking, okay? I just want to go back and forth, and then I just let some drip over the side because I just feel like that looks so appetizing. Of course, you can just clean up your cutting board, and then I just took a spatula and went over it to make it look smooth. I allowed this to sit in the fridge for about an hour just to let the frosting set, and then you have a delicious cinnamon roll cheesecake. Let me know if you guys are going to try this recipe. This was so good, honey. Get it with a little coffee. Oh my gosh. You guys know that I love you and Jesus loves you. I'll see you next time. Goodbye and God bless.